You are Hindu?
Yes.
Your husband is Buddhist? And now you become a Christian?
Yes.
But why?
Because I'm in love with Jesus.
What would be the cost of this particular house in Delhi?
400 million rupees or something.
This is my apartment. This is my bedroom.
It is quite a big house. We have many bedrooms and we managed to keep it clean because of these ladies.
For me, I mean, you hear the word culture shock. A lot of people come to Asia and they get culture shock. I got culture shock when I went to Switzerland.
Do you want to stay and live in Delhi all your life, or you want to change the location?
No, if I'll get a chance, for sure I'll go out of India.
Namaste, my friends. We are in India, in New Delhi. I honestly don't know in what district we are now, but I know that tourists don't get here. The local people look at our team like we're monkeys. This is an episode from India when we go to a local home. We talk with locals, come to their workplace and find out how they live here. Subscribe to the channel right now. Guys, I can't say what this episode will be like or how many characters will be, but I know that it will be very interesting. I am ready to get acquainted. Let's go! Friends, it's Savi with us, and from now on I will start speaking English. Hi Savi.
Hello.
I'm Andrey. Can you
Savi.
please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Savi and I'm 31 years old. I stay in Delhi and this is my colony. It's called Khanpur colony.
So tell me a bit more about your district.
About this, Khanpur is usually if you go further that side, then that place is bigger and it's more violent. People are more dangerous that side. They are thieves and they fight a lot. But this is a small colony, so it's nice and peaceful here. If you go there, people will trouble you more. Here, everyone is chilled out. So this is a nice colony.
So this is a safe place to stay.
Yes, it is safe.
And for how long are you living here?
It's been around 15 years.
15 years?
Yes, around 15 years I'm in Delhi. I'm from Sikkim, so every year I go to Sikkim. And here I work. I have a house straight ahead there. I stay in rent. That is not my house. I have to pay rent every month. So I stay with my husband. I have a son. He is in Sikkim. He studies there. He stays with my in-laws, and we both stay here and work.
Is it normal to see the trash in the streets?
It is very normal.
Yeah?
Very normal.
Are you accustomed to this?
No, we have a garbage right there where we can pack our garbage and throw. But youngsters are very careless. They throw everywhere. But someone will come to clean that up. This colony is cleaner. If you go to other colonies,
this one is a clean one.
Yes, but if you go to other colonies, then you will see pathetic everywhere.
What are they doing? They're ironing?
Yes, he's our uncle.
They're getting money for this?
Yes.
So it's like his business?
Yes, this is his business.
This is his. Good morning, namaste. So people from these buildings bring like shirts, t-shirts, trousers for ironing. And what is the price per one?
5 rupees.
5 rupees?
Yes.
And how many pieces is he doing per day?
Per day, up to 50.
50. So he's making like 250 rupees per day?
Yes.
And is it enough to feed his family?
This is his building. Aapka building kaun sa hai? Yeah. This is his building he has given for rent, so it will be enough. He doesn't have to pay his rent. He just earns here from there, so it's enough.
How do you think? Is he happy?
Aap khush hai? He's very happy.
Very happy?
My husband and wife.
And this is his family?
Yes, his wife. He has a children. Aapka 3 beta hai na? Yeah. He has 1 son and 2 daughters. So he's happy.
You also told me that there are different castes living here.
Yes, like
do you still have the caste? And can you tell me about the caste a bit more?
No, in the sense we have a caste, but we don't care. Like we don't do, okay, you are small caste, so don't touch this. We don't do that. In Delhi, nobody does that. If you go to villages, There they still do that, like, oh, you're small caste, so don't touch my food, like that. But in Delhi, everyone is chill. There are like Punjabis, there are Muslim, Hindu, there is Christian. So different castes are there. People from Sikkim, Jaipur, Manipur, Bihar, from everywhere people come here.
From which caste are you? Do you know?
Yes, I am Hindu, but my husband is Buddhist, but now I become Christian. So
Now you become Christian?
yes, I am a Jesus lover.
Wait, you are Hindu,
Yes,
your husband is Buddhist, and now you become a Christian.
Yes.
But why?
because I am in love with Jesus. I love him because he sacrificed his life for us.
Wow, so interesting. What is this for?
There was now the marriage function has started, so you will see marriage everywhere. So there were 3-4 marriages in here, yes, 2 days back. So that's why they are still here. They will take out.
This was the wedding?
Yes, wedding was here.
2 days before probably, because
Yes.
yeah, it was a very popular day to have a wedding. We also wanted to visit the wedding. How many people did you have on your marriage, on your wedding?
In my own,
Yeah.
mine was a love marriage, so only 4 of us were. Me, my
Only?
husband, 4 people.
Only 4 people, but normally you get villages.
Yes, because they arrange marriages. When you have a love marriage, then nobody supports you, so you will end up with here. This one.
So
This
when
one.
you have an arranged marriage, like your father, your mother says, you should marry that lady or that man. They bring you money and everything.
Yes,
But
yes.
when you marry
Yourself.
with love, by love, you supported by yourself. So only 4 people. You, your husband,
And
who
2
else?
friends.
And 2 friends.
Yes, because we have to sign for the certificate.
And no
so-
families at all.
No.
Wow. but you look happy.
Yes,
Yeah?
I'm happy.
Let's go
Yeah,
and show.
Yes.
Show us where you live.
Straight. Shall I
Yeah,
go?
just
Okay.
go. Friends, now we have come to Liza. In 2014, Liza arrived in New Delhi only by herself from Makiivka, Ukraine. As I understand, she settled down here, and I would probably also like to be able to do so. It's because we are in a completely different Delhi. We are in a government district, and behind us is Lodi Gardens in which you and I were already in one of the episodes. If you haven't seen it, be sure to watch. It's very beautiful. This is where Liza lives with a big family. Next to her is the father-in-law and his granddaughter. Now we will go to get acquainted with mom. And welcome Liza. Liza will say hello and tell her story.
Hi, I moved because the war started at home for such not very good reason. Well, my aunt has lived here, now they have moved to Dubai. She's also married to a Hindu, so our dynasty continues here. That's all. Then I met my husband, we met and I stayed here.
Well, you are married to a Hindu since 2000, what year?
Since 2016. No, 2017.
But we can't talk to your husband since he works, right?
Yes, he is busy now.
Did your husband play cricket before?
Yes, he played cricket professionally for a good team. Now he turned into a lawyer.
Today we will learn from you how it is to live here. We will meet mother and we will talk with dad.
Yes, with dad, with my husband's sister.
Wow, friends, you understand, it will be very interesting. Today we will find out how they live in Delhi in India. Let's go to the house to meet the family. Friends, Sunita is now with us, the mother. Probably she is the head at home. We will find out it now, but I feel like she is. She is a writer. I switched to English, but you will hear everything. So I just introduced you. So as far as I know, you are a famous writer, and you recently, in the last years, had a tour through the Central Asia. And I want to ask you to introduce yourself. if you may, and say more about the books which you write and who is the audience who reads it.
Primarily, I'm a traveler on the Silk Road. I love to travel. I have been traveling all over Asia, Central Asia, the parts of Gandhara, that was Pakistan and Afghanistan, and parts of China. And my subject has been Buddha on the Silk Road. And the audience is the general audience, because it is a travelogue, so people love to read how a person is traveling all along the Silk Road in Asia. And of course, the specific subject is the Buddha.
Are you Hindu?
I'm a Hindu.
Yeah, but you're writing books about Buddha. Yeah,
Yes,
and,
because
and his way.
Yeah, because I love the Buddha. I love what he taught, but I'm not a practicing Buddhist.
And as far as I know, you have a special place here, like a sacred place where you pray every day.
Yes, I pray to all the gods. Not only Hindu gods, not only Buddha, but I have got Jesus Christ. I have got a small Quran also. So I believe in all. I believe that there is one God. We may call him by any name, but there is one God.
Can I get some more details where you were born, how you met your husband, and what different adventures you had on the way of your life together?
I was born in Kushinagar. This book is about the Buddhist heritage sites of India. So there is one place called Kushinagar, and Buddha attained his nirvana, Mahaparinirvan, that is, he died, passed away at Kushinagar. I was born in Kushinagar, and that time it was a small village. And from Kushinagar, my mother brought me to Allahabad. That is also a small city. I studied in Allahabad, and he was also in Allahabad, so we met in college. And that is how we came to know each other. And later on, after 6-7 years, we got married.
Which traditions, the local traditions, Indian traditions, do you still stick to, and you want your kids and grandkids to stick to?
First tradition that we followed for many years, 20 years after marriage, that we lived in a big joint family. For 22 years of my married life, I have spent with his brothers, their wives, my mother-in-law, and 9 children in the family. And when he decided to move to the Supreme Court, only then we separated from the family and we came to Delhi. Otherwise, I like that tradition, because for children it is very good, and even for us, we can share the work, we can share companionship, because if it is a large family, then I think it is better for everyone to be together, and especially for the children.
If you had an opportunity, I think you have to change 3 things in India, what would you do?
First and foremost, I would like to implement free and compulsory education for all children, because India needs all her children to be in school, to study and be educated. First is education, and with education will come cleanliness, because if you leave some of the good localities, other localities are not clean. So second thing is cleanliness, hygiene. And third thing, what shall I say, these 2 are the most important for me. And in schools, if children go to school and they are taught about equality of gender, then whatever crime is taking place against women, I think that crime rate will be cut, and the places will become more safe for women.
We were in New Delhi and now we're in sunny spring Kiev. And small break just to tell you if you want to find cheap flights. See, for 30 euros you can go to Krakow round trip, Stockholm for 30 euros, Riga 34 euros, Helsinki 34 euros, London 35 euros, Vienna 35 euros, and so on. Yes, I know, it's really cheap. And if you want to find such cheap flights, go to Trip My Dream. It's very simple. Set where you fly from, set the whole world, then you just sort by the cheapest and you will be offered just a ton of tickets where you can fly cheaply tomorrow. Also, we added useful functionality called Trip Mix. We're testing it. The functionality allows for from 80 euros to visit at least 4 cities in Europe. You just put where you fly from, the Find button, and we will combine your journey for you. Remember to invest your time and money into emotions and travels. And find cheap tickets on Trip My Dream. Enjoy watching. So this is your apartment. This
Yes.
is the 4th floor.
This is the 3rd floor.
3rd floor.
Yes.
Because there is a ground floor. This is
first floor, second floor, then this is
okay.
3rd. And there is one more upstairs, and after that is stairs.
Okay.
Okay, this is my apartment. All right, and this is my bedroom.
This is your bedroom, your dining room, yeah?
Yes, this is my storeroom, dressing table. This is my wardrobe.
Uh-huh.
And this is my kitchen.
Okay.
Here.
So it has like, I think, 12 up to 14 square meters.
This one, yes.
How much do you pay for this apartment per month?
Per month, 5,500 for rent, 300 for water, and we have to on the pump. That bill we have to pay extra. That can be around 300-400. Then electricity bill comes up to 400. So how much is that?
And internet?
Internet, I have. We don't have Wi-Fi, so I just charge my phone. Like you can say 500 per 2 months. That's enough for me.
Can we drink water in
No,
Delhi?
no, we have to buy this water. 40 rupees for this 20 liter. It goes for 2 to 3 days maximum.
But the water is not good. Is it true that it's like water which goes from the toilet and then it comes back here?
But it's all no. Sometimes it gets like the pipe is next to each other. The dirty pipe and the clean pipe is to each other. So sometimes it gets like broken or anything. Then it mixes up. Otherwise, but before coming here, they get cleaned and all. But still, it is not good to drink before purifying.
Are you using this water for
Cooking.
washing? No.
Yes, for washing.
Teas.
Cooking,
For
boiling.
washing teas?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is it safe?
Yes, it's not that dirty. It is safe because they add that chlorine. Chlorine is kills the bacteria.
You told me that you are a Christian now.
Yes.
You used to be a Hindu and your husband is a Buddhist.
Yes.
And can you tell me something more about religion in Delhi and what people do related to religion now? Are these traditions are still kept in place?
Yes, definitely. Now, now people celebrate everything. Now Diwali also everyone is celebrating. Christmas also everyone celebrating, and even Eid is for Muslim. Everyone celebrates all the festivals. Now it has become more like fashion than really like tradition. Has become fashion. So everyone wants to celebrate everything.
How come you became a Christian? What happened?
Yes, because I got peace after I got to know Jesus Christ. I felt peace, and my friend was Christian, so I used to go with her to church. But at that time I was not Christian, so she left later on, and then I was I stopped going. Then again after a few years, Jehovah's Witness. I found Jehovah's Witness, and then I started studying Bible with them. I got to know, but again later on, because of family problem, like they don't like me becoming Christian, and they wants me to be involved in the tradition, puja and all. So I again quit. I had not taken baptism, but I stopped studying also. But later on, again, there was me and my husband always, every day we were fighting. After some time, even we stopped like talking to each other also. We were staying in same house, but we were not talking to each other. Only if there's a work, we were talking, other we were not talking. So I could not even take divorce because I have a son, so I don't want him to feel bad or left alone because he's still young. He's only 9 years old. So again, I didn't know what to do, but then I started meditating. And in meditation, I used to think, tell God, like, guide me, I don't know what to do, whom to pray, because they say only this is true and that's only that is true. So I was like confused. I was nowhere at the end. And then again, that my friend came back, which had gone like 10 years back. She came back to visit Delhi, so I went and met her. Again, I went with her to church, and as soon as I went there, I felt like this is what I was looking for. Now my search is over. I felt from inside that, and I felt that peace. So after that, regular.
You look very happy now, and very
Yes.
peaceful. Since we started about food, can you tell me, do you cook here?
No, I get my lunch at the restaurant, but yes, I want to eat at home also. So yes, I cook here. Mostly when I'm at work, he is the one who's cooking.
So your husband is cooking.
Yes, because
What do you eat
I'm
here?
more busy. We eat rice, dal, and vegetable. Like any vegetable. Sometimes spinach, sometimes beans, peas. Like he's non-veg, pure non-veg. I'm pure vegetarian.
And where do you sleep? You sleep here, you, your husband, and your kid?
My kid is in Sikkim. He's in Sikkim. He's not in Delhi.
So he's not living here with you?
No, he comes on his holiday. December, we'll have to go and bring him, keep with us for 1 month, and again take back. So in my holiday, I go there for 20 days and stay with him.
So he's living with your parents?
No, his parents.
With his parents?
Yes.
Do you miss him?
Yeah, of course.
So you call him every day?
Yes, every day.
Is he going to school?
Yes, he is.
Is school and the whole education good here in India, or
Yes,
could be
yes.
better?
No, it is good.
It is good.
Yes, even in Sikkim also there are very, very good schools. In India also very good school, but I mean in Delhi, the good schools are very expensive, very, very expensive, and the cheap schools are not as good, but it's not bad, it's fine.
Do you have a medical insurance here?
No. Yes, there are insurance, but I don't have mine.
So if something happens, can you go to hospital and get free care?
Yes, but it is too many people. It takes months and months
To get
Treated.
to see a doctor
Yes,
and be treated.
yes. The free one. Other small hospitals are here, which is cheaper, which for like emergency they will take care, and then you can go to the government hospital for the longer process. But small doctors are everywhere.
Can you tell me a bit more how your ordinary day starts and ends, and what you do during your day? So you wake up. What time you wake up?
8 o'clock I wake up. So 8 o'clock I wake up. 8 to 9 I study the Bible and watch video, pray, whatever I do.
Every day?
Yes. 9 to 10 I just get up, get ready, and 10 o'clock I leave. I don't eat anything. So I just get ready and leave to work. 11 o'clock I reach work. From 11 to 9 is my shift. So I'm there working 11 to 9.
From 11 in the morning till 9 in the evening.
Yes.
You work at a restaurant.
Yes.
Will you take us to your restaurant today?
Yes, today I will take you.
Good.
We will go. And from if it's very busy, then I have to stay longer also, and if it is not busy, then sometimes I come early also. So from 9 to 10, by the time I reach here, it's already 10 o'clock, 10 to 10:30. So after coming, I just get fresh and I'm exhausted. So I just sometimes eat food, eat food. Sometimes he cooks and I eat. and just rest, and again I want to go through the talk of the Bible, and also I do all that. By the time I sleep, it's around 1 to 2 o'clock.
Guys, now the older sister Josna is with us. We will now talk to her. Do you read your mother's books?
Yes.
Which of them do you particularly like?
I think the first one was a very special one.
The Silk Road.
Yes.
Why?
Because that was the first book she wrote, and she worked very hard, and for us it was like, for the entire family it was something like of a project, because we supported her through the book, and we experienced her being away from the house for a very long time, going through these very adventurous holidays where she's studying the sites. And so for us, for all of us, I think that was the first very big event in her career.
You were born in a family where a father is a famous lawyer, and as far as I understood, he used to work in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And the mother is a famous writer, so it looks like both of them spent much time hardly walking all the time. Did you get enough warmth and attitude from them?
So the thing is that because we were in a joint family, and my grandmother was there, and we were attached to the other members of the family, we did not feel the absence of the parents so much. And they were working through the day, but at night and in the evenings they were always there. So for my father, he would go to the court in the morning, but in the evening he would always make sure that he's spending at least an hour with us before he heads to the office. So we always had quality time from them.
Do you live all together in this big house?
No, I live with my husband in our house.
Cool. And you have a daughter?
2 daughters.
2 daughters?
Yes.
Wow, cool. I also have 2 daughters. And did you study here in India?
Yes.
Do you think that the education, the current educational system, is it good or could be improved?
As far as higher studies is concerned, it could be improved, but my immediate experience with the education is because of my daughters. And I think some of the schools are very good in India. They are on international standard. So primary education for everybody in India, definitely there is a scope for improvement. But
is it a free school or a private school?
This is a private school.
How much should you pay for a private school?
Quite a lot, actually.
There are some workers here in this building. Do you also have the workers in your house?
I have a help in my house.
Do they cook for you? What do they do for you?
No, they just clean the house and I do the cooking myself.
So, what do you do for living?
For living, like...
You work in a restaurant?
Yes, I work in the restaurant.
And what's your position?
A supervisor.
You're like a supervisor.
Yes.
You're ahead of all the...
all the team.
All the team?
Yes. There's me and Rajiv. He's also a supervisor. So we both are the most senior there. Above us is owner. Usually in other restaurants they have assistant manager, after supervisor, assistant manager, general manager, but here we don't have. Our boss, he takes care of everything. So above us is boss, below us is other team. It's a small team, not very big.
And you work from 11 to 9 every day, or you have weekends?
Yes, we have 1 day off in a week. So my off is on Tuesday.
And are you happy with the work you do?
Yes, I am happy. I tried in between. I tried working to other, in a showroom, in the spas, but I was not happy. So I think I'm made for the hospitality. So I am happy in restaurant, and my boss is also very good. We are like friends. so I'm happy at work also.
And what's your education?
10th.
What's your education?
Yes, class 10 only.
10 classes?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Okay.
because I have like family problems, I had to start working. Yes.
Guys, we just had a very tasty dinner, I must say. And we're so grateful to this family for their hospitality. Mom also agreed to introduce us to her housewives, who help her every day. There are girls with us. Let me switch into English and we will translate. So now I'm saying that we're very thankful to you for the lunch we had here and for your hospitality. And can you tell me something more about the house, because it looks quite a large one, and who helps you in this house to keep it clean and cook, and about these ladies, please?
Actually, you are thanking me for the good lunch, but you must thank these ladies. She is Lakshmi, she is Meena, and she is Anita. So she is the supervisor of the kitchen. She has made the good lunch, and these two, Anita and Meena, have helped her in making so many things. And this big house, it is quite a big house. We have many bedrooms. And we managed to keep it clean because of these ladies. If these ladies were not here, we could not have managed the house. So everything on these, my friends, they are my friends.
So you have 3 helpers or 4? You have 1 man and 3 ladies?
No, we have got 1 more helper. She is a lady. She comes in the morning and she leaves by about 1 o'clock. 4 hours she is with us. In the morning, her name is Rekha and she. 2. In the evening, there are 3. She and these 2.
Okay, and what they do? They clean and cook?
Mainly, these other ladies are cleaning. Anita and Meena are cleaning, and cooking all through the day. Lakshmi is doing the cooking.
Okay. Do you cook yourself?
Yeah, I cook myself sometimes, and we are all interested in cooking. My husband also cooks sometime. On Fridays when he is off, then he makes something special. He sees in the net and he makes that thing.
How much do you pay them?
Batao. She is getting 12,000 rupees.
Wow.
But she is here from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6:30 in the evening. She is getting 12,000 plus bonus twice on Diwali and on Holi. Bonus milta hai?
Yes, madam.
Acha. She is working for 4 hours. 4 hours. She comes at 2 o'clock and she leaves at 6 o'clock. So she is getting 5,000. 5,000, 4 hours. She is getting 5,500 for 4 hours. But they are all getting bonus for Diwali and Holi. Twice a year they are getting bonus.
And you trust them completely?
I have to trust them. I have to, because I have to do my work. If all the time I'm thinking what they are doing, I can't do my work. So I leave everything to them. In the kitchen, nothing is locked. In my room, nothing is locked. Everything is open. When we go on holidays, these ladies are coming here and they are working. We are not here. So everything is on them.
Can I ask them if they are happy? And now is the right time to ask for the salary increase.
Yes, yes. They want more salary.
They want more salary.
तुम बताओ?
तुम चाहती हो?
हाँ जी, हाँ, yes. चाहती हो salary और they all want more salary.
When are you going to increase the salary?
Every January.
In January.
January, her salary will be increased. Hers every January.
Congratulations! The January is almost now. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Who pays the bills? They, you, or your husband?
See, I pay the bill, but it comes from my husband. He gives me the total money that I need to spend in the house.
What is the total amount for the support in the whole house, including the ladies, per month?
Per month, my husband is giving me 2 lakh rupees. which he takes from the bank and he gives me, because I have to look after the entire household. There are more people. They are here in the kitchen. I have 4 ladies, but outside there are more ladies who are cleaning the gate, who are sweeping the lawns outside garden. They are sweeping, then gardener, and there are other people also. So it is a big household. We are 4 members, but the people working for us are quite big.
Okay, so every day I come from this, I get down on the bus stand and then I walk. And evening time, if my staff, sometimes we feel like eating something from outside, so we just come to these stalls. We eat these paratha. This is potato-filled parathas. They have these stuffed breads, deep fried. It's called samosa. They're stuffed with potatoes with mixed spices. They deep fry. And it's cheap also, only 10 rupees per piece.
This one is 10 rupees.
10 rupees, and nice, 10 rupees per piece. So they give with little bit of vegetables, gravy like that. Yes.
So is it made of? It's made of wheat.
Made of wheat, yes.
Wheat
stuffed with the potato and some coriander leaves, chilies. Yes, we eat this sometimes when we feel like eating in the evening time. Snacks.
And he is eating with his hands only.
Everyone.
Is it safe? Everyone eats with his hands.
Yes.
Is it safe to eat here?
For us, it is safe because they make it fresh. So we eat so many times, nothing has happened. But maybe for you, it's not safe because there are too many spices there. And they give in throwaway plates, so you don't even have to worry about the hygiene.
But why do you put so many spices in food?
Indian people, they like a lot of spices, a lot of masalas, chilies. Even I don't like too much spice, but here people, they like it. So now our restaurant is right here, the Roadhouse
The
Cafe.
Roadhouse.
Yes, we'll have to go up from there.
So it's a restaurant or cafe?
It is a restaurant.
But called Roadhouse Cafe.
Cafe, yes. We sell coffee, bar, everything is there. Okay.
Biryani Blues, okay. Let's go upstairs.
First floor is Biryani Blues.
Yeah, cool. So now we are in your restaurant, and it really looks like a very fancy one. How long are you working here?
It's been 2 years.
2 years?
Yes. Since opening, I'm here. This team is since opening only. Most of us are here since opening. So it's 2 years back we opened. This Roadhouse Cafe in 1992 they opened in Nepal. There are 8-9 hotels, resorts, restaurants in Nepal. In India, this is the first one. So yes, it's been 2 years since we have opened here. So since then only I'm here.
And who are the guests? Are they locals or tourists?
Yes, guests we get, tourists also local, both we have, but mostly locals we get.
Mostly locals.
Yes, and yes, we are vegan friendly, gluten free friendly. So nowadays people are turning into vegan and gluten free, so they are really happy.
So it's also
here.
a trend here because everyone is turning vegetarian or vegan here.
Yes, not everyone, but nowadays we get many people who say, okay, we are vegan or vegetarian.
What is the percentage of tips that normal guests should leave in the restaurants?
Tips or percentage, you can say. Some people they give 10% also, some people they don't give, some 2%, 1%.
So it's not like a rule like 10% or like 20%
But
like in US?
We have something called service charge. Okay, in US we have tips, but here we have service charge where we apply 10%.
10%?
Yes,
Wow,
so but there is an option, it's written that if you don't want to pay, then you don't have to pay. So
Okay.
some guests they say, okay, we don't want to pay the service
I
charge.
wanted to ask you 2 questions. How
Yes.
much money your family needs to survive in Delhi per month?
Okay.
You and your husband, total budget?
Minimum is 20,000.
Minimum is 20,000
Yes,
rupees.
to pay room rent, we eat, transportation, our daily needs.
That's for survive. And to feel
Yes.
yourself comfortable?
Yes, in 20,000 life, how we are living is fine. We are comfortable.
That's comfortable. How much money you make a month? Is it a secret or not?
No, it is not secret.
It's up to you. You may share or not.
I mean, there is basic salary and service charge. So service charge is usually, it keeps going up and down. So altogether you can say 27, 28.
Wow, so you're covering the minimum and you still have some extras for entertainment.
Yes.
How do you entertain yourself here?
We go to watch movie, we go, sometimes we meet up with friends, and before I used to drink, so we used to drink and enjoy. Now I don't drink, we eat. Yeah, we watch movie, get together sometimes in my house, sometimes in friend's house, sometimes outside. Sometimes we can go to park. Yes.
Thanks. Friends, we are in the South Extension district, the district where we live here with my team. Next to me is a girl, Diksha, whom I met by chance on the street when I was doing my live stream on Instagram. She saw me, she asked me what I was doing, and we get acquainted. She agreed to talk about her daily, switching to English. Hi Diksha.
Hello.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself shortly?
Yeah, myself Diksha. I'm born and raised in Delhi, and I play cricket. Right now I'm working in Decathlon Khelgaon, and I'm pursuing masters in English.
And you're 23
And
years
I'm
old.
23, yes.
And you're very beautiful and a happy person. In which district of the Delhi you live?
I live in South Extension Part 2, South Delhi.
So here.
Yes.
Do you live with your parents?
No, I don't live with my parents. I live with my workplace friends.
So you rent together?
Yeah, basically I'm from Haryana, and Haryana district, Karnal. Yes.
Okay. And how much do you pay for your apartment with your friends?
It's like 5 to 7,000.
5 to 7,000 for the whole apartment?
Yeah, for the whole apartment with electricity bill.
Wow, but it's not expensive.
Yeah, it is not, because we stay 4 people together and we have 2 rooms. So we just share our rent.
So it's per person?
Yes.
So the price is per person.
Yes.
And you're working in a store?
Yes,
And
I'm a part-timer.
You're a part-time worker,
Yes.
at the same time you study?
No, at the same time I'm studying, working and playing cricket.
Wow, so cool. Where do you find time to do all this?
Actually from 7 to 1 I work, and from 2 to 6 I play. I don't have time to study, only in exams I study.
Okay. How much money do you make per month? You work in a store selling some sports stuff?
Yes.
You work...
It's a sports in a company, Decathlon.
Okay.
Yes.
How much money are you making per month?
It's actually up to me. I paid by hours. So I get paid, sometimes I get 20, sometimes I get 26, sometimes I get 2,000. It's up to me. How many works I work, they'll pay. My job is only based on hours. Hour-based job.
So as much you sell, then more you get?
Yes.
And what about these people in the streets who have small stores? How do you think, how much money are they making per month?
It's up to them. It's like Sundays they don't make much money, but on weekdays they make like 20 to 30,000 a day.
Have you ever traveled to Europe?
No.
No? No. Have you met European people?
Before, like many years, long back.
What do you think differs Europeans and Indians?
They are more fair than us. Yeah, and they don't know Hindi basically.
So, top 3 things which you love in India?
Food, culture, and religion.
Okay, you're Hindu.
Yes.
But you accept the Muslims and the Buddhists?
Sikhs, Christians.
Okay,
yes.
Everyone here.
Yeah.
Okay, and 3 things which you hate in India or you want to change here?
Like garbage.
Okay.
Pollution.
Okay.
The way people talk.
What's wrong with the way people talk to each other?
Sometimes they don't know whose mistake is and they just start shouting on other people.
Is it true that in India, if you want to deliver your idea to a person who you're talking to, you should shout and speak loudly?
No, it shows their arrogancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should be polite to the people.
Do you want to stay and live in Delhi all your life, or you want to change the location?
No, if I'll get a chance, for sure I'll go out of India.
Where exactly?
Actually, I want to go London.
In London?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been there? Do you have friends there?
No.
No, but you want to go to London?
Yes.
But what's the reason behind that?
Oxford University.
You want to study there?
Yes.
And what are you going to do in the next 2 years to go and study in the Oxford University?
Any course, whichever I'll get to admission there, I'll go there if I'll get a chance.
Friends, it's Rohan with us. Rohan is the husband of Tanya, who is one of our main characters of the episode Expats from New Delhi. I am sure you have already watched this video. If you didn't have time to, be sure to watch. Rohan and I will now talk about his Delhi, about the features of the city, especially when you have not lived here for 20 years, in India itself, and then came back to the country. How a country looks like after you saw the whole. Hi Rohan, can you please make a short introduction about yourself and then we'll continue.
Sure. So my name is Rohan. I'm basically from Darjeeling. It's the tea capital of the world. I was born and brought up in Darjeeling. I studied in Darjeeling and then in Bangalore, which is in the southern part of India. I left the country for about 22 years, moved back to Delhi in 2015, and since then I've opened a restaurant and I'm now settled here in Delhi.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm now 40.
You're now 40. Okay, so you traveled the world for 22 years. Why did you make this decision to travel all around the world, and how you find this work doing the travel business? So you're in travel business.
So basically, when I was a kid, I was always interested in joining the hospitality industry. I thought it looked really nice, it looked really glamorous. So I was always interested in joining hospitality since I was maybe 12, 13. And during that age, I was more interested in cooking. So it seemed only normal that after I finished college, I furthered my education. So basically, I did my +2, which is your 12th standard. Normally, people would spend 3-4 years in college to specialize in what they want to do, whether it's arts or commerce or science. I saved those 3 years and specialized immediately after college into hospitality. So I went to Switzerland, I did my diploma over there, and since then I started traveling to all different places.
Who paid for your education? Are you from rich family?
My father had paid for my education, and that's something a lot of parents in India do. They take care of the kids even after they have passed the age of 18. Not very wealthy then, but my father made the sacrifice, he made the arrangements, he made sure that I got the education that would help me do good in life.
What did your parents do for living?
So my mom is a housewife, she took care of us. My father is an interior designer and architect based in Darjeeling, and then when I left for Switzerland in 1997, he moved the entire family and business to Kathmandu, Nepal, and that's where he started his new firm.
Nowadays you can compare educational system in Europe and here in India. Which one is better and what's the difference between them?
See, my education goes way back. I mean, I finished my high school in 1997. We're now in 2018. A lot has changed since then. I'm not very familiar with the current process, but what I can say is through my personal experience, the Indian system from when I started, you had a lot of information. They teach you a little bit of everything, and the specialization only happens very later, like when you go to college, and even then you're not sure what you want to do, so it's a little bit of everything. So you do a little bit of business, of commerce, of science, so it's overwhelming with a lot of information. But I would say in the long run, I think if people were able to specialize at an earlier age, they would have more focus on what they want to do. because a lot of people in my batch, in my age group, we left college, we left school, and they had no plan. They didn't know what to do in life. So I guess that's the downside, is there's so much of information, but there's no specialization. But I think that has changed now.
So let's go back 22 years ago when you firstly left India. I believe that was the first time. And what was your impression when you relocated to Switzerland for studying there?
For me, I mean, you hear the word culture shock. A lot of people come to Asia and they get culture shock. I got culture shock when I went to Switzerland, because I couldn't imagine a country that was so beautiful and perfect. So for me, it was amazing to see that people followed all the rules. Everything worked like clockwork. No matter where you took a picture, it looked like a postcard. You wouldn't see hanging wires, you saw no garbage on the street. So for me, it took 3-4 months just to adjust, to understand how could people live like this. Because coming from a country that had so many people and you see a lot of other things here, that was a big shock for me. So my first culture shock was going to Switzerland. And I would say my second culture shock was when I moved back to India in 2015. That again was a shock, because I spent 22 years abroad, and then to come back to India and to start living here again, it felt very new.
Let's go back to India, and can you compare the Europeans and Asians? What really differs them? Because I understand that there are good people everywhere and very good people everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but if we compare the mentality, the traditions, the culture, what really differs Europeans and Indians?
From my perspective, and I could be wrong because everyone has a different experience. So going back to '97 when I first went to Switzerland, my entire batch was mixed. There were people who were as young as me, between the ages of 17 going up to 27. And I felt I was very immature. I was in a classroom, I was the only Indian student, and we had maybe about 10 nationalities. We had people from France, from Switzerland. It was an English school, the course was in English. And I was interacting with people for the first time from different countries, and I felt that I was very immature, and I didn't have the confidence to talk to people, to have a conversation. And that was one thing that I found very similar with the other Asian students. We had students from China and Indonesia and Singapore and Brunei. So that is, for me, was the initial challenge, how I felt that they had matured earlier than I had. And after 22 years of experience, I can say that I would say the way we are brought up over here, I wouldn't say it's close, but it's protective. Your family is always a huge part for you. In the States, for example, at the age of 18, you declare that you're independent. You leave your house to do your own job and own work. But over here, people stay with their family. They find a job, but they stay with the family. They get married, but they stay with the family, and that evolves. Everything is around the family, and that's something that's very Asian. And something I've learned from my wife is that our culture and Russian culture is not that different at the end of the day. That you will see a lot of similarities because the family is the nucleus and everything happens around the family. But that's how I found it very different, say, in Canada or in the US. Because those people were more independent and life was more about an individual person. It is what they wanted to achieve, what they wanted to do in life, and the family was on the side. The family was not as involved. If you wanted to make a decision, if you wanted to get married, the family was not so much a part of it, right? So your family was there in the background to support you when needed, but over here in Asia, the family is more in the center, and you are part of that.
Friends, now we are with the head of the family. Dad's name is Rakesh, and now we will talk and learn a lot about his life. I will just ask you to introduce yourself, please, for the viewers.
So, I'm Rakesh Dvivedi and born in the city of Allahabad, and my childhood, my schooling, my part of the university, and then I started my practice as a professional lawyer in Allahabad High Court. And after about 20 years, then in 1997, I shifted to Delhi to practice in the Supreme Court of India, and incidentally I had done my law also from Delhi University Law Faculty. at a time when my father, late Justice Shri S.N. Devedi, was judge of the Supreme Court of India.
Wow.
So he died while he was in office, and I was just completing my law course. So when I finished and got my law degree, then he was not there. So I decided to go back to Allahabad and start my career from there. So finally in 1997 I shifted, and initially in Noida, now in Jorbag. That's where you are.
So it looks like the whole your family, like your roots are down to the law, and all of your family are lawyers, yes?
My father and his brother, elder brother, they
and now
were
your
the son now.
Yeah.
So yes. So my son will be the third generation. But my father and my uncle, they were the first generation lawyers.
Would you go the same path which you did in the last many 40 years, or would you like to change something on the path which you had till this day?
To change if I have another chance.
Yeah.
Now, if a second chance is there, maybe I am not a lawyer. I would like to work more actively and fully for the change of my development of my country. As a lawyer, you can contribute, of course, but not in that way. So I really can't say for second chance, but more or less I am fully satisfied with the course which my life took. In fact, in between my practice as a lawyer, I had switched to politics also for some time, and I was working with the utmost downtrodden section of the country, the tribals and the Harijans. So as a Communist Party member, so I had worked for about 6 or 7 years, and I also was sent to jail twice.
Wow. For what?
For trying to improve the lot of the poor. So like there was land distribution laws were made in India. We call them ceiling laws. They impose ceiling on land holdings. So farmers cannot own beyond 20 acres. So the surplus land, excess land is distributed to the poor. But the poor people were not getting that land. So I participated in that struggle, and twice in that connection the police arrested me and they sent me to jail along with the farmers and poor people. So that's how that struggle was going on. So but after 6-7 years, then I came back to the profession and then progressed and finally landed in Delhi.
What are the 3 things that inspire you in India or make you happy about India?
The first thing which inspires me is the freedom struggle against the British colonialists, which led to the gaining of independence in 1947, and then our elders framing the Constitution of India and converting India into a constitutional democracy on a secular basis, where there is room for diversity. So as Jawaharlal Nehru said, unity in diversity. So, but that's what the Constitution framework is. But the real struggle which is going on still is to realize it. So that's the second part, which is the most relevant part today in India, is how we stabilize India as a secular country, as a democratic country. Because time and again we find that those who are in power, they want to muzzle the freedom of the press, muzzle the freedom of writers, freedom of the opponents. So people in power don't like different views. They want compliance, obedience, discipline. So that's the democratic part of the struggle. Then India is so diverse that if you move from north to south, from east to west, different languages, different cultures, different cuisines, different lifestyles, somebody eating beef, somebody not eating beef, and people worshipping different gods. So how to keep them the unity of India, preserving the freedom of people to live the way they want. And our courts have contributed quite a lot in that direction, because they have interpreted the fundamental right to life and liberty to mean that everybody has a right to live the way they feel like.
Where do you see the future of the country?
The future of the country is definitely bright, because conflict between the different organizations show that people want change. There are litigations also for fighting against pollution. The litigation also that in Diwali there should not be firecrackers. And we saw that children are coming out. They are abstaining from firecrackers. So as a consequence, the consciousness amongst the people for cleaner India, and that is growing. That's one of the good things which this government has done, is to increase the consciousness of the people towards that. But so there is awareness also for fighting against corruption.
Is it still high here?
Corruption is very high, and it seems to be growing. And it's the only feature which is common to all countries, it seems.
Some last questions. You live in this house for how many years?
Oh, we came from Noida to Delhi in 2010. So it's about...
Do you rent it or you own it?
No, we own it.
You own it. What would be the cost of this particular house in Delhi?
Today it should be...
In dollars?
Maybe 400 million rupees or something about.
400 million rupees. That's enough. We can calculate it easily. So the cost would be 400 million rupees. And the very last one. Are you a happy person now?
I've been happy throughout my life with whatever I was doing at every point of time. And you may call it God's grace or whatever, if you believe in God, but I'm happy. I've achieved much beyond I could have dreamt.
Why did you decide to start your own business in Delhi? Come back to Delhi and start it in Delhi.
So there was one moment, and I still remember this day like it was yesterday. We were studying, I was working in the Bahamas at that time. I was the director for food and beverage with Sandals Resorts, very popular, especially in the US, and they have properties all over the Caribbean. So I had been at Sandals Resorts for 4.5 years. And you want to grow, you want to know what's next, right? And that's probably when I had my midlife crisis. I woke up one morning and I was shaving. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I just told myself, like talking to myself, I said, Rohan, today is the day. Meaning today is the day that you will resign. With no second thought, I went to work and I tendered in my resignation and I gave them 2 months notice.
So you just did it?
I just did it.
Just did it?
I just did it.
Guys, just do it.
Just do it. Because my thing was, there's never a right time. But what I didn't want is to look back 20 years later and have regrets. Because I was working for someone else, but you need to have the guts to do something, and you can only do something if you make the effort. There's no right time, you just have to make a commitment and just go ahead and there. The time is now. Because we have enough of excuses, right? Tomorrow is a good day, we'll do it another day. So I just took that chance and I said, well, today's the day, fine, today's the day. I went and I resigned, and my now wife, not then wife, was not very happy because she was thinking of leaving the company too and moving on, but I managed to steal her thunder. I resigned before she had the chance to resign. So yeah, so that's what happened. I moved to Delhi I lived in Kathmandu for 9 months because I never spent so much time with my parents and my brother. So it was nice to come home, not have a job, but I was still financially secure because I had enough of savings. I spent 9 months at home, lived with my parents, got to know the family again, because for 22 years you haven't really been around. I used to have vacation time, but vacation is like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then you go back for a year. So came, spent 9 months in Kathmandu, then came to Delhi. Didn't have a plan, didn't know what I was going to do, but knew it would be food related because that was my experience in hospitality. And it took me 1 year of market research to finally understand that I wanted to open a restaurant. And it took a year in planning, and we opened this in December 2016.
So you invested yourself a lot?
Yes.
Are you the only one owner, or you're like several owners here?
So Roadhouse is a brand from Nepal. So we have a very interesting story there as well. So Roadhouse is an extremely popular brand in Kathmandu, Nepal. They have a lot of restaurants in Nepal, in Kathmandu. They have a resort in Pokhara, which is a beautiful destination. They have opened another restaurant, and this last week or 2 weeks ago, they opened the Roadhouse in Tamil, a hotel, a boutique hotel. So we have been friends for the past 25 years, during this entire time when my parents moved to Nepal. So Chandan and Ranjan are the two brothers who own the brand. So they were interested in expanding their business. So what I did was I took the franchise for the brand and brought the brand to India. So in India, I'm the director for Roadhouse. We want to expand, we want to go into more cities in India, and I represent the brand, but Chandan and Ranjan are the partners who own the business in Nepal, and I have the franchise contract for the whole of India.
What would be the cost if I would like to open the same quality of restaurant with the same name, famous name from Nepal, here in the same district in Delhi?
It comes back to a lot of variables, so you would have to have a very good understanding of the market, and the market keeps changing based on the environment. The market in 2016 is very different from where it is now. So ballpark figure you're looking at, it would be about 300,000 US.
Not that much.
Right.
Is it including the tables, everything?
Everything, but it
all the equipment?
You basically need to have a ballpark budget, and India will deliver.
Okay.
You can make anything possible over here within your budget. If you want to spend 10 times more, you can spend 10 times more and make it bigger and brighter and better. Or you can spend 10 times less and open a place for 10,000 US, and you can still make a living and settle here.
Tell me some stories about how is it for you, and not only for you, for everyone doing business here, right. The atmosphere and what you face.
So doing business in India was a challenge more for me because I didn't have any background in business. I worked in hotels, but in hotels you do your job, you get a fixed salary, that's going straight into your account, you can spend it freely, so you have a secure income. But when you enter into business, there is no secure income. You have to meet all your expenses, and if anything is left, you might get some. If nothing is left, you have to save for the next month, because you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your salaries, you have to pay your staff, you have to buy your food. So you don't become the priority anymore. You're the last thing that's important when it comes to business, because the survival of your business is everything to you. This is your bread, your butter, right? Doing business in India is getting better. I think there's more transparency now than there was 22 years ago, and the current government has done a lot of to put more systems in place to make sure that things are a little more clear. We just came back from a trip to Bali, and we were just there for 2 weeks with the family, and we have friends who have lived in Bali, and they said that Rohan, the corruption in Bali is probably much higher than it is in India.
Oh really?
But I don't know, because I don't live there, I don't work there. From my personal experience, my dear friend Anand, he and I studied in Bangalore, so I've known him for 27 years, if not more. And when I came back to India, he was really scared as a good friend, because he thought that I had become a foreigner. I wasn't adjusting, or I would not be able to manage India. So one day he said, Rohan, I need to sit you down and I need to teach you a very interesting word. I'm like, okay, Anand. He's like, Rohan, remember this word for the rest of your life. I'm like, what is the word, Anand? He says, the word is jugaad.
Jugaad.
Jugaad. So every Indian who watches this video will probably burst out laughing right now because jugaad means contacts.
Contacts, networking.
Networking. Everything in India happens through jugaad. Everything. Because whenever you want something to get done, if you don't have the right contacts, your life will be so much harder. The contacts will not make it, will save you time, basically. It's not that the work will not get done, but if your paperwork gets lost in the system, you could be looking for the same paper for the next 20 years of your life, and you would never get the file. But through jugaad, the only thing it gives you is some form of getting things done in a timely manner, because things never happen on time over here. Things are very laid back.
Did you operationally break even?
Yes.
Operationally?
Yes.
And in terms of investments, any break even yet?
No, because right now we're looking at expanding the business. So whatever we get, we're putting it back into the company to maintain.
So you reinvest?
To reinvest.
Okay, can you tell me something more about the revenues you get here, like a monthly or daily revenue, and what's the average check, and how many people you have here in the restaurant?
So in terms of staff, I have 19 staff, right? That's between the housekeeping people who keep the place clean, to my chefs, and to my service staff. Because we are open 7 days a week, and we're open from morning or close to noon till 12:30 at night. Initially, when we opened, we did not have an alcohol license because of government rules and regulations. That took a long time to happen. So in terms of that, the primary expenses over here would be in terms of rental, salaries, and these are your fixed costs in terms of electricity, which is pretty much the same. It gets a little more expensive in the summer because consumption of power is higher in the summer. But a lot of the electrical equipment is running on power, and power is not as cheap. I'm not comparing it to other countries because I don't have those figures. Again, I was working in hotels where you don't look at the electrical bill, you just know that.
How many clients do you have per day? Ballpark?
A ballpark figure would be anyways between 70 to 150.
70 until 150.
Yeah.
What's the average check?
So the average check in Indian rupees varies because some people, see over here we are looking at doing Italian food, a little bit of fusion elements because it has to go with the Indian palate, because the Indian palate is very complex. They don't like bland food per se, but at the end of the day we are trying to bring in true authentic Italian flavors. So a pizza for 2 or 3 might suffice, or a table might order some alcoholic beverages, couple of pizzas and pastas. So the average check can vary between 500 rupees and can go up to about 2,000 rupees. It varies.
Are you happy with your decision to come back to India and Delhi and open a business here?
Every time I meet people at the restaurant, we meet a lot of people, right? And they said, so you look or you sound like, because I still have a little accent, right? And when I speak Hindi, I don't speak Hindi like a local. People think that I am not from India, that I moved to India, because my Hindi is not, the accent gives me away. So when I talk to people, they're like, no, you're not from here. And then I tell them the story that I was from Darjeeling and then I studied and lived abroad and then I moved back to India. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Why did you come back? Because when I tell them, they're like, where did you come from? I'm like, from the Bahamas. They said, you left the Bahamas and you came to India? And for me, I mean, for many people, it sounds funny. A lot of people want to leave the country to move abroad because they're fed up. They don't like the education, they don't like the family circumstances, they feel there's no opportunity in the country. So a lot of people, every day, they migrate, right? They go to Canada, they go to Australia, they go all over the world. And then there are few people who, having lived abroad, come back to India. Why? Because no matter how crazy and chaotic it is, this is what I missed in my 22 years. Switzerland was too perfect, too boring. At the end of the day, this feels like home to me. The chaos, the confusion, the pollution, the traffic, it makes sense to me. When you take all of that out of the equation, you lose something. It's hard to explain, but a lot of people would understand that as well, that it's the chaos and it's a good chaos. And you actually enjoy it at the same time. It's a little bit of stress, but it's like you like working in a pressure environment, and it's complex, but it keeps it interesting. And that's another reason why I changed so many jobs in my life, is once I don't like routine. Once it becomes too routine, you know that every day is going to be the same, it gets boring. But in India, every day is never the same. In India, every day is different, and it keeps it interesting.
Cool. Thanks.
Hey, pleasure.
Friends, as you understand, you should always do in life what inspires you. When you shave, whether you are, I don't know, combing or just drinking coffee. Make decisions and comply with them. As I like to say, just do it. In English, it sounds like the Nike brand statement. And that man just did it. He left the Bahamas and came to New Delhi. He lived for a while and opened a restaurant. He just did it. He is happy, and he has no doubts that tomorrow he will shave again and make some new decisions. Therefore, make your own decisions and execute them. And as I always remind you where to find cheap airline tickets, guys, the service is called tripmydream.com. I am one of the founders of this service, and I can guarantee you that we do our best to find you the cheapest airline tickets. Please continue to invest your time and money into emotions, travels, and find airline tickets on tripmydream.com. Liza, thank you for meeting your family.
Thank you for coming.
I understand you call the dad as dad and the mom as mom.
Yes, even before the wedding.
Did your husband ask you or you decided by yourself?
No, it was my decision. You saw them. They're so nice.
Your husband studies and works, right?
He has already graduated this year. He works together with Dad in the office, also goes to Supreme Court. He helps him as a junior lawyer.
Will you work here?
I'm still at home because according to the laws of India, I do not have the right to work for 2 years. That is after the wedding. If we have a special wedding with a foreign woman, according to the law, I do not have the right to work for 2 years before receiving OCI. This is a residence permit. When I get it, I can start working. I want to open the salon, beauty salon.
Beauty salon? I understand. What did you do in Makiyivka before?
In Makiyivka, I worked at an event company. We organized events. In Donetsk, it is 40 minutes by car from Makiyivka to Donetsk.
And what's your education?
I am a tourism manager, a specialist in tourism business.
Oh, it's my thing.
I worked here in a tourism or in an event company. They make completely different events, not like in our country. With us, we check each flower is sliced. Here the main thing is somehow, and that's okay. I can't do that. For me, this is not normal. Therefore, I did not work well with the event companies.
I see you are happy.
Yes.
And you don't want to come back home.
I do not want.
I want your friends to always be happy. Because I am sure that dreams should come true. No matter how low you fall, it is important how fast you can rise. Make it with a smile and go on for life. It turned out to be a super cool format when we discover a city through people, local people. Liza helped us to find some of them. New city, friends, this is New Delhi. Remember that you need to invest your time and money into emotions, into travel. And find the airline tickets, cheap airline tickets on tripmydream.com. And now I embrace you with all my big Indian heart. Bye. Bye-bye.